used to visit this bar, my local bar, at least 5 nights a week, and each time I'd drink my weight in cheap, shitty domestic beer. But last month, that beer brand partnered with a transgender social media influencer for one brief sponsored ad, and being a devout, cross-burning, God-fearing Southern Christian man, I can't drink that beer no more. So that's why I made the switch to Trump's Piss. It's a new beer just being released to the market that's made out of 100% authentic piss from one of the Trump family members. And I gotta say, it tastes like one of the Trump family members' piss. But at least I know that every can of Trump's piss I drink is one less can of a beer I'm not drinking because they made the fatal mistake of not catering to a minority of religious extremists. So if you're like me, and you think your skin tone is an accomplishment, and you understand even less about the Bible than you do about the Constitution, put down the woke brew and grab some Trump's piss. Today.
Live from somewhere you're not, it's KPBC News. With your lead anchor, Anchor Cat.
Greetings, I'm Anchor Cat, and let's get right to the stories we think you should freak the fuck out about. First up, let's head out to Gold Coast, Idaho. Our reporter Skip Tumaloo is out there, and he's got quite a story to report to us. Skip.
That's right, AC. Just a few hours ago, I spoke to Mr. Mark Cakebatter, and he told me that he and his business partners will soon be launching a rather unique line of pre-cooked packaged Italian meals called Chute.
Skip, Chute is going to change the way people look at prepackaged meals for cannibals.
I'm sorry, Skip. Sorry to interrupt the playback of your interview, but did that Mark guy just tell you that he's got a line of products for cannibals called Chute, and it's going to be available to purchase by the public?
That's right, AC.
Wow, that is...
Yes, I too found it quite shocking when Mr. Cakebatter said his products are for humans who eat humans. In fact, I asked him if he has good legal counsel because it seems like he's admitting to mass murder or genocide or something.
No, I was just going to say that it's a pretty clever pun, but a little obvious. Hadn't really thought about the whole cannibal thing until you brought it up just now, Skip.
Gotcha, AC. So should we keep playing the interview with Mr. Cakebatter?
Oh, God no, Skip. That's disgusting. This guy's product line is disgusting. Thanks for checking in from Idaho, though, Skip. Up next, a court of appeals has ruled that the Babylon Bee is so unmercifully unfunny and such thinly veiled Christo-fascist propaganda that they must now legally register as a Christian megachurch and not a satirical outlet. The Babylon Bee's lawyers argued in their briefs that since nobody outside a cult of ignorant religious extremists even thought of the outlet as satire to begin with, the court's judgment is, quote, unnecessary and mean, unquote. Babylon Bee CEO Seth Dillon reportedly spent the afternoon crying on Elon Musk's shoulder as they let a self-driving Tesla mow down people at a pride event in Florida. However, reportedly, Musk told Dillon that as a church, he won't have to pay taxes anymore, which made the ignorant bully asshole miscreant fuckface who identifies as a comedian quite happy. More on this in our special 5-part special investigation, Jesus Freaks and Geeks, next week. Let's take a break and we'll be right back after this.
Coming up on 28 kids who can't spell, read, write, express their emotions in a healthy way, or stop molesting each other and counting.
Well, I suppose you don't stay a barber for as long as I have without learning a few things, such as, despite the fact that social values might change over time, for some of us, nothing ever changes. That's why I have so many people still coming through my doors every day, sitting down in my chair and asking for a cut and a shave. Because they know I'm someone who doesn't think anybody needs gender-affirming care more than toxically masculine, overly aggressive, white heterosexual men. And that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years here in my barbershop. And that's what I'll give you if you ever come into this shop as well. Joe Murph's Barbershop, giving fragile guys the gender-affirming care they need since 25 years ago. Welcome back. Today marks the 84th anniversary of the first grenade chase, a tradition held each year in a tiny town in northwestern England. For the past 84 years, on this day, local residents brave enough to put their life and limbs on the line for a bit of hometown fame and a free steak dinner at a pub the townies consider a literal slice of heaven have chased a rolling live grenade down a hill. Whomever successfully nabs the live grenade first and then safely guides it back down to the bottom of the comically steep hill wins that steak dinner and bragging rights for a year. We had planned to bring you footage of this momentous anniversary. However, the live grenade used in today's grenade chase, in a, quote, completely and unforeseen turn of events, which is how our corporate attorneys are requiring me to say it, landed right between our crew and reporter and blew them all to smithereens. The ownership of KPBC News and their legal teams wish to extend condolences to the family of cameraman Skip Malloy and reporter Jonathan Jackson. However, those condolences cannot and will not be construed as a legal admission of liability for their deaths. KPBC News appreciates that Skip and John died doing what they love most, putting their lives at risk for the sake of advertising revenue for the station. In lieu of flowers, station ownership requests that cash donations made out to KPBC News and/or its executive team individually be sent instead. Turning now to Florida, prosecutor Jack Smith said in a written statement that he doesn't anticipate filing any additional charges against Donald Trump. There had been some rumors swirling around the Hill that Smith might add a charge of wanting to bang his own daughter, or perhaps even charge Trump with being a massive crybaby sore loser bitch boy to the already 37 counts related to Trump's theft of documents from the U.S. government. In his statement, though, Smith said Trump is, quote, for sure guilty, unquote, of both those things, but they aren't illegal, so he can't bring charges against Trump for them. Attorney and KPBC legal analyst Larry McTerry joins us from his home in California now to discuss this new development. Larry, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure as always, Anchor Cat.
Larry, what's your view of this situation regarding whether Trump should be charged for either wanting to bang his own daughter or being the biggest sore loser snowflake in the history of the Republic?
I agree with Jack Smith completely. Even though these would be the most easily prosecuted open and shut cases in the history of our judicial system, the simple fact is that there aren't any laws on the books that make it illegal to be a daughter-lusting, sore loser crybaby biatch. So all we can do is point and laugh. And I'm not one to give out free legal advice, but I think pointing and laughing at Donald Trump as he finally pays some kind of consequences is, well, that's the way to go.
Thanks for coming on, Larry. In our next story, Representatives Jim Comer and Marjorie Taylor Greene held a press conference this morning. During the event, Comer and Greene insisted that they have a, quote, very real and very honest, unquote, informant who has supplied House Republicans with information regarding President Joe Biden accepting bribes when he was the sitting vice president. Greene and Comer further insisted that their informant has implicated Biden's son Hunter as well. We take you now to Washington, D.C., where reporter Phil Herman just witnessed the press conference. Phil.
Anchor Cat, just a few minutes ago, Comer and Greene told a handful of reporters that the informant they keep referring to during interviews on right-wing media outlets is indeed a very real person. However, when we asked him if we could see this informant for ourselves, we were rebuffed. Comer told us that, quote, he doesn't go to school here, and besides, he's away in Canada on vacation. We'll follow up on this story and get you more details when we know them.
Hi kids, it's me, your old pal Fred, and I just wanted to take a moment and let you know that big feelings are not an excuse to break the law. Even if you think you're entitled to something because you incorrectly believe you actually won something you totally lost. Okay, friends? Don't make the mistake of thinking your big feelings are an excuse to take things that don't belong to you or to sell out your entire country. Because we all know what kinds of people do those things, right, kids? That's right. He really is one of those. And I'm pretty sure even he knows that it's not a play in baseball where you barely tap the ball with your bat. Oh wait, what am I thinking? He probably won't get it because, friends, he really is a stupid cunt.
Welcome back to our Sunday presentation of melodramatic dialogue theater. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast of The Woes of Nachos. And if you did, then you'll love next week's show when we run Naked Salad. Now, back to the show. See you at the next commercial break for more melodramatic trivia.
Oh, I resisted the cheese dog for so long, but now I can resist it no longer.
Welcome back to ASMR nobody asked for. Welcome back. Out in San Chorizo del Oro, California, a man is suing Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg personally for what he calls the mental and emotional anguish the social media company put him through recently. Reporter Darren Barron has the story for us. Darren.
Yes, that's right, Anchor Cat. 42-year-old local plumber Chuck Roast just got done filing the paperwork to sue both Facebook's parent company Meta and its founder and CEO, automaton Mark Zuckerberg. While the lawyers I spoke to told me that it's unclear if it can sue a robot, suing Meta for the kinds of abuse Mr. Roast says he suffered is not at all out of the ordinary.
Well, my mom died in April, but Facebook's algorithm didn't show me my sister's post until like mid-May. So basically, Facebook waited a month to tell me that my mom died. Things like that fuck you up when they happen, Darren.
Mr. Rose told me that he also suffered verifiable, documented financial loss because of Facebook's algorithm. It was withholding his sister's posts about their mother's passing.
Well, the problem is, by the time I found out about it, my sister had already gone through my mom's Beanie Baby collection and sucked up all the good ones. And we were supposed to split them 50-50, but I guess Melissa said, oh well, I'm close to the situation, I get to take advantage of it, and I should probably sue her too. It just sucks because I haven't been on speaking terms with her since 2010 when she kicked me off of her amazing race team.
Chuck told me that his lawyers aren't sure he has much of a case, but that they're more than willing to take his retainer fee in case he does. From here in San Chorizo del Oro, this is Darren Barron. Back to you in the studio.
Congress pony Marjorie Taylor Greene lashed out at the Justice Department and FBI today. During a press conference held in front of the Capitol, Greene blasted the plea deal that President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, recently entered. Biden's plea on 2 tax charges and a charge that he lied about drug use on a gun license application will likely keep him out of jail. Ms. Greene told reporters that she is ready to spit her bit and stamp her feet because Hunter Biden's laptop looks like it will avoid jail time as well. But her fat fuck boyfriend and ex-president Donald J. Trump will very likely spend time in jail because he stole national secrets like a Benedict Arnold-ass motherfucker. We talked to constitutional scholar and presidential historian Tim Corncob about whether Greene's bringing up any valid points from a legal perspective.
From a non-crackhead legal point of view, no. However, once you introduce just a little bit of Marjorie's favorite rock to the situation, yeah, everything she says makes a lot more sense.
Paulie Birdman is standing by in Florida, and he's got news on a new attack ad set to be launched soon by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Paul? Anchor Cat, the sources we have here in Florida are telling us that fascist automaton go-go boot fan Governor Ron DeSantis is in a state of panic after seeing his most recent polling numbers. He is still trailing mightily behind Donald Trump, despite the fact that Mr. Trump is currently facing more than 35 charges related to allegations that he broke the Espionage Act. According to the people we've spoken to, that's why Governor DeSantis is set to launch an attack ad tomorrow, hoping to fire up voters and bring them to his side. We've been given exclusive access to that attack ad, and we can run it for you now. Billy, I think we have the ad queued up. Some folks think there's only one Republican candidate brave enough to tell it like it is. Some folks think that man is big, orange, and probably going to jail for a few years soon. But what if we told you there's another Republican who has strong, rock-ribbed conservative values and religious fascism you can count on to pull no punches, drain the swamp, make America great again, and kick out all the people who make us nervous because they, don't look or talk or pray like us. And that man is Ron DeSantis, not Ted Cruz seen here with his ugly wife Heidi. Ron DeSantis for president, because lots of other Republicans can call Heidi Cruz ugly, and he's one of them. Paid for by the League of Lilliputian Little Bitches. That ad will start playing 16 times a day on local Florida TV stations and on Fox News starting next week. Back to you, AC. Thanks, Paul. In our next story, every year the International Agency of Classifications names the person they believe is the world's most passive-aggressive man or woman, and they give the winner a prize. This year, Michael McSkudu won the award. However, Hank Jizzlebong, our reporter on the scene, is telling us that there seems to be some kind of issue with the prize awarded to Mr. McSkudu. Let's take you out to Arid Lake, Michigan, where Hank is standing by. Hank.
That's right, Anchor Cat. According to the people I spoke to at the IAC, they received an email from Mr. McSkudu that seemed to indicate he's not happy with the prize he was awarded, but they're not able to actually really tell. Here now is a portion of the interview I did with CEO Gavin Lavin.
This morning, we received an email from Mr. Max Skidoo. It said, quote, Oh, so that's the award I'm getting. I mean, that's cool and all. I would have maybe wanted something a little different. But why would you consider the feelings of the person who you're giving the award to? That seems silly, doesn't it? Anyway, I guess I'll come pick up that so-called prize. Which, again, I'm really just so honored and touched by at some point in the future. Probably.
Lavin told me that he and his team are desperately trying to reach Mr. McScudo to see if he's going to take his prize or not. However, all they've gotten in response to their text messages are laughing emojis and thumbs up emojis. We'll keep you posted if there are any changes. Back to you in the studio, Anchor Cat.
Thanks, Hank, and we'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is the guy who doesn't know about lawn care, talking about lawn care. We're coming back to you with a new segment. Thanks for checking out the last one I did on the pushable grass cutter. Mine uses plug-in power, but of course you can use the stuff that you put in your cars to fuel other ones. That's cool. You can't do it with the plug-in one, I found out, with the first one I bought. But all right, so let's talk about this thing right here. Crap, hang on. This is called like a push air, an air gun, an air pusher. And what you do is you use it to, yeah, see? So, oh shit, hold on. Check it out, so this is how you use the air pusher. You just use, alright, you push the button, and it like, makes the air go. Pretty dope, you should buy one.
Hello there. Are you into Star Wars and weed? Then you've got to come on down to the high ground. Trust us, we've got a great feeling about it. We're open even on Life Day. Tonight on Skywatch, we talk to the engineers who not only design the sex robots made by Screwdroid, but who also teach them the positions you love best. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back. We have some breaking news for you. A second self-designed submersible, owned and operated by a billionaire, has been lost at sea. According to published reports, the SS Hubris, a craft designed from energy drink cans, a Dyson stick vacuum, and the remote control from a 70s-era Zenith tube television, set off looking for the wreckage of the 1986 Challenger shuttle explosion last week. It last made contact with humanity when the patchwork geodesic dome hatch made from jockstraps was closed on the Hubris. That was more than a week ago. They were supposed to have returned after just 4 days. On board were its captain, Jared Russell, the owner of Ball Shock's energy drinks, his fifth wife, and two of their openly racist fellow billionaire friends. It's unclear if or when rescue attempts will begin, as local authorities told us the loss of 4 billionaires would be such a net positive for the planet that they are morally obligated to shrug this off. In a related story, Twitter's CEO and pretend inventor Elon Musk tweeted his condolences and mused that when he invented submarine technology, he had planned to use it to find the city of Atlantis' fabled hair regrowth secrets. However, once he found a doctor who could do passable hair plugs, he went that way instead. Up next, we're headed to Los Temiculos, California. There, a school board member, who also belongs to Moms for White Christian Liberty, is holding up the approval of next year's 5th grade history class textbooks. Reporter Billy Williams has the story for us. Billy.
Anchor Cat here in Los Temiculos, school board member Jen Weirdmouth is threatening to block the approval of 5th grade history textbooks for next year's school session because of objections she has about some ancillary content provided by the textbook publishers.
What does Ms. Weirdmouth object to, Billy?
She says that in the ancillary materials, students are never offered an alternative fact-based accounting of the Civil War, Anchor Cat.
How's she reason that out, Billy?
First, by cramming her head up her rectum, and then by claiming that because the ancillary lesson plan doesn't point out that Irish people were once mistreated, and that racism was over officially as of 2008 when the first and only half-black president was elected. It's biased and reverse racist. She also takes issue with none of the coursework pointing out the slave owners were job creators, just trying to keep the South's economy going, and that many slaves were given food, and even the opportunity to be raped into having children with their slave masters.
Has Miss Weirdmouth offered any other textbooks to use in the interim?
Well, she did offer up 2 books. the Holy Bible, and Donald Trump's comically fabricated autobiography, The Art of the Deal. The board is set to vote on her proposal this evening. From here in Los Temículos, California, this is Billy Williams.
Our next story takes us out to Cold Cave Hills, Tennessee, where right-wing podcaster and singer-songwriter Jethro Higgins has just filed a lawsuit against Screwdroid, manufacturer of a sex robot he says broke the terms of service he agreed to with Screwdroid, but most importantly, that it broke his heart. We spoke to Jethro about his lawsuit earlier today.
I'm sorry, Anchor Cat. I love the free market. I believe in its magical powers and will to the day I die. But I also think that some companies just should not be allowed to defraud their customers so badly. And when my sex robot saw me in my MAGA hat, looked at the wall and saw the Confederate flags hanging up, and then went into my bedroom, moved aside my dildo collection and saw my Nazi gold, all of a sudden it says, "Hey Jethro, I don't want to fuck you anymore, I want to fuck other humans." Well, I went through my Screwdroid contract. I even read the fine goddamn print. And you know what wasn't in there? Nothing was in there saying that your sex robot can all of a sudden stop finding you attractive like your sister did that one summer.
We also spoke to Barry M. Larker, Jethro's attorney, about the suit.
Anchor Cat, my client in this case, as with every case I take, came to me asking to help get financial compensation from a company he says personally wronged him. If a company like Screwdroid is going to charge people like Jethro thousands and thousands of dollars for their product, the least they can do is tell them up front that their sex robot might wake up one day, use its artificial intelligence, and decide it no longer wants to sleep with racist, transphobic, homophobic, garbage humans. And I think one day a judge and jury will see it Jethro's way. Or at least I'm willing to take his money and tell him that's the case.
We'll have the rest of our interviews with Barry and Jethro tomorrow at 8. From everyone here at KPDC News, this is Anchor Cat wishing you and yours a pleasant day as far as can be reasonably hoped for. So basically, I'm telling you to temper your expectations because it's mostly a pile of steaming pig shit out there.
Now this is an excellent court item, some sort of legal. It's a judge's hammer. It's a 2-piece set. It's a hammer piece you grab and the other for your desk. Used to be $24.99, but for you, $9.99. Hit us up, chsn.com, or if you like to make phone calls, we do that too. It's 1-888-345-6789. Item JC4325. It's a judge's hammer. It's a shiny 2 pieces.